She said, "I love you, but not to him. Hey everyone, glad to have you here. We've got a beautiful story for you today, but first, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your city name in the comments below. Let's see how far our stories are reaching." The restaurant was dimly lit, soft jazz playing in the background, candles flickering between plates of untouched food. Ethan Miller, a 32-year-old architect with calm blue eyes, sat across from Olivia Reed, the woman he believed was his forever. He'd spent weeks planning this night, the reservation, the ring in his pocket, even the small note that said, "You make me believe in love again." But something felt off tonight. Olivia's eyes weren't meeting his. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. She stirred her wine absent-mindedly, lost in thought. "Liv," Ethan said softly, reaching for her hand. "You've been quiet all evening. Everything okay?" She blinked and forced a smile. "Yeah, just a long day." He nodded, pretending to believe it. But when her phone buzzed on the table and her face changed, that look of sudden light, that spark he hadn't seen in months, Ethan knew something inside him was about to shatter. She picked up the phone, glanced at the message, and whispered under her breath, smiling in a way that tore him apart, "I love you too." Ethan froze. The sound of clinking glasses and laughter around them faded into silence. His heartbeat thundered in his ears. "What did you just say?" he asked, his voice trembling though he already knew. Olivia's eyes widened, realizing what she'd done. "Ethan, it's not what you think." But it was exactly what he thought. The room spun, his world caved in, and for the first time in years, Ethan couldn't breathe. He didn't yell, didn't cause a scene. He simply stared at her, the woman he thought he knew, and whispered, "Who is he?" Olivia's silence was the only answer he needed. That night, Ethan walked out of that restaurant, leaving behind the ring, the dinner, and the man he used to be. But what he didn't know was that Olivia's secret wasn't just about another man. It was about something far more complicated, something that would change both their lives forever. The rain came down hard that night, blurring the city lights into streaks of silver and gold. Ethan drove without direction, his hands gripping the steering wheel, his reflection fractured in the wet glass. He could still hear her voice, soft, trembling, full of something that didn't sound like guilt, didn't sound like love either, just pain. "I love you too." Those words repeated in his head, like a cruel melody. He ended up parked near the old bridge, the one where he and Olivia had shared their first kiss 4 years ago. The world felt colder now. Even the memory of that night, her laughter, the way she tucked her hair behind her ear, felt like a lie written in soft ink that time had washed away. Inside her apartment, meanwhile, Olivia sat alone in silence. Her phone lay face down on the table, her eyes swollen from crying. She didn't even change out of her dress. She just sat there, staring at nothing, replaying Ethan's voice in her mind. Who is he? She wished she could have told him the truth. But how do you tell the man who loves you that the person you said, "I love you too," doesn't even exist anymore? Olivia unlocked her phone and opened her messages. The chat at the top was still there. Noah read. The name alone made her chest tight. She typed something, then deleted it, again and again before finally whispering, "You'd hate me for this, wouldn't you?" On her screen, the last message read, "I miss you, Liv. I'll always be with you." Tears blurred her vision. That message wasn't new. It was 2 years old. And Noah had been dead for nearly the same amount of time. She tried to move on. Ethan had been her new beginning, the light that guided her out of the darkness. But some ghosts never die. They live inside you, waiting for the smallest spark to wake them again. Tonight, that spark had ignited. Meanwhile, Ethan sat in his car for hours before finally driving home. His apartment felt like a museum of their memories, photos of vacations, a half-finished puzzle on the coffee table, her sweater still hanging on the back of his chair. He poured himself a glass of whiskey, then another. The silence screamed around him, and then his phone buzzed. A message from Olivia. "Ethan, please, let me explain. It's not what you think." He stared at it for a long moment, his thumb hovering over the screen. Every part of him wanted to delete her message, to erase her like she'd erased his trust. But his heart, foolish, loyal, opened the chat. "Then tell me, Liv. Tell me who you said I love you to." Minutes passed. Then his screen lit up again. His name was Noah. Ethan's pulse quickened. He whispered aloud. Before he could type another word, his phone buzzed again. "Ethan, he's gone. He's been gone for 2 years. He stared at the words, confusion swirling with disbelief. "What the hell does that mean?" he muttered, packing across the room. Olivia's next message came slowly, almost as if every word hurt to type. "I still talk to him sometimes. I know it's not real, but it helps me breathe." And just like that, the anger in Ethan's chest twisted into something else, something darker. Pity, fear, heartache. He dropped onto the couch, the ring box still in his pocket, and whispered to himself, "She's not cheating, she's haunted." The night dragged on, and both of them lay awake in their separate worlds, one broken by betrayal, the other trapped by memory. But what neither of them knew was that Noah's story was far from over. Because the next morning, when Olivia opened her phone, there was a new message. From Noah, "I told you, Liv. I'll always be with you." And the timestamp, 2:37 a.m., sent just 3 minutes ago. The morning after was quiet, too quiet. The kind of quiet that hums in your bones before something breaks. Olivia Reed sat on the edge of her bed, clutching her phone like it was a lifeline. Her heart pounded so loud it drowned out the sound of the rain outside. On the screen, Noah's message glowed like a ghost in the dark. "I told you, Liv. I'll always be with you." The timestamp still said 2:37 a.m., sent 3 minutes before she'd woken up from that same dream. The one she had every night for years. A car crash, the fire, the sound of Noah screaming her name before everything went black. Her breath trembled. "No," she whispered. "No, this can't be happening." She opened the chat. It was the same thread, the same 2-year-old messages frozen in time. There was no typing bubble, no sign of a hacker, nothing. Just Noah's profile picture, a blurry shot of him smiling at her by the lake, and that one new message. Her fingers shook as she typed back, "Who is this?" No reply. Then typing bubbles appeared and disappeared, appeared again. Olivia's stomach twisted. Her hands went cold. Then another message appeared. "You promised you'd never forget me." She dropped the phone. It hit the floor, screen flickering for a second before going black. Across town, Ethan Miller was sitting at his drafting table, surrounded by sketches he couldn't focus on. He hadn't slept. His mind was a mess of her voice, her words, that name, Noah. He wanted to hate her. He wanted to move on, but part of him couldn't, because he'd seen something in Olivia that night that wasn't guilt. It was grief, a kind of pain that time doesn't fix. And despite everything, he couldn't stop worrying about her. By noon, he caved. He drove to her apartment, knocking once, twice, before she finally opened the door. She looked pale, fragile, like she hadn't slept either. Her eyes were red, and there was fear hiding behind them. "Ethan, what are you doing here?" "I came because I couldn't sleep," he said softly. "And because I think you owe me the truth." Olivia hesitated, her grip tightening around her phone. "You wouldn't believe me." "Try me." She sighed, stepping aside. "Come in." The apartment was dark, curtains still drawn, half-finished coffee on the counter. Ethan noticed the photo on the wall, Olivia, and a man with warm brown eyes, a wide smile. "Noah, is that him?" Ethan asked quietly. Olivia nodded, her voice small. "That's Noah." Ethan studied the picture. There was something in Noah's expression, joy, confidence, the kind of man who lit up a room. "What happened to him?" Her throat tightened. "Car accident. 2 years ago I was there." Ethan turned to her. "You were with him." She nodded slowly. "We were supposed to get married." The words hit Ethan harder than he expected. He looked down, trying to hide the emotion on his face. "And you still talk to him?" Olivia swallowed hard. "I thought it was just me. I used to text him sometimes when I missed him, when I couldn't sleep. I knew no one was reading. It was just my way of letting go." Ethan's jaw clenched. "And last night," her voice dropped to a whisper. "Last night he texted back." Ethan froze. "You mean someone hacked his number?" "I don't know," she cried, voice breaking. But it was his words, Ethan. Things only he could have known. She showed him the phone, the message thread still glowing. Ethan stared at the screen. "You told anyone else?" "No, you're the first person." He ran a hand through his hair. "Okay, look, there's gotta be an explanation. Maybe someone found his old phone, maybe." But before he could finish, the phone buzzed again. A new message. From Noah. "He shouldn't be there, Liv." Both of them froze. Ethan felt the blood drain from his face. "What the hell?" The typing bubble appeared again. "You'll never understand what we buried." Olivia's heart stopped. Ethan looked at her, confused and shaken. "What does that mean?" he asked. But Olivia didn't answer, because suddenly she remembered something she hadn't thought about in 2 years. The night Noah died, they hadn't just lost each other. They had buried something no one else knew about. And if Noah, or whoever was behind those messages, knew that secret, it meant this wasn't over. Not by a long shot. The words, "He'll never understand what we buried," hung in the air like a curse. Olivia's breath hitched as Ethan stared at her, waiting for an explanation. "Buried?" he repeated, his voice low but sharp. "Olivia, what the hell does that mean?" She opened her mouth to speak, but nothing came out. Her throat felt dry, her pulse echoing in her ears. She turned away, moving toward the window where rain streaked down the glass like tears. "It's not what you think," she whispered. Ethan took a step closer. "Then tell me what it is." Her hands trembled. "It's something from before he died. Something I swore I'd never talk about." He folded his arms. "Well, looks like someone already is." Olivia flinched. The phone buzzed again. This time she didn't even look at it. "Please just stop asking, Ethan." He studied her, the way her eyes avoided his, the way her voice shook. "You're scared." She turned, her gaze meeting his. "Wouldn't you be?" The room went quiet except for the soft hum of thunder outside. Ethan sighed and ran a hand through his hair. "Whatever this is, you shouldn't face it alone." "I already did," she said softly. 2 years ago. That night when Ethan left her apartment, Olivia finally gave in. She sat on the couch, gripping the phone. The screen glowed faintly, Noah still there, his name frozen in time. Her fingers hovered, then she typed, "What do you want from me?" No reply, then slowly, "The truth." She swallowed hard. Her reflection stared back at her in the dark glass of the TV screen, pale, broken, trembling. "You don't get to ask me that," she whispered. "You're not real." But her phone buzzed again. "You promised to keep it safe. You didn't." Her breath caught. No, that's not true." "Then why did they find it lit?" The phone slipped from her hands. She stared at the floor, frozen. "They found it," she whispered. "Oh my God." Flashback 2 years ago. It was late. The woods outside of Millstone were silent except for the crickets and the crackling of a shovel cutting into wet dirt. Olivia's hands were shaking as she dug, mud splattering her jeans. Noah stood beside her, his flashlight flickering. "This is crazy," she whispered. "We shouldn't be doing this." Noah's jaw was tight, his eyes fixed on the small metal box in his hands. "It's the only way, Liv. If they find out, everything's over." She stared at him. "You think burying it makes it go away?" He looked at her desperate, afraid. "No, but it keeps you safe." Lightning flashed across the sky as he lowered the box into the hole. Inside it, she remembered, were documents, photos, and something that had burned itself into her memory forever. A flash drive labeled Keller Project. Noah had been working for Keller Biotech, a powerful research company known for pushing ethical lines. He told her once, half drunk, that he'd found something inside the company, something illegal, dangerous. And the next morning, he'd begged her to help hide it. That was the night of the accident, and she had never gone back. Olivia's hands trembled as she came back to the present, her pulse racing. "No one was supposed to know," she whispered. Her phone buzzed again. Another message. "They know, Liv, and they're coming." Her eyes widened. "Who's coming?" But there was no reply. Suddenly, headlights flashed through her window, a car pulling up in front of her building. Not Ethan, not anyone she recognized. A black sedan, tinted windows, engine running. Olivia backed away from the window. Her heart pounded. The phone buzzed one last time. "Run!" The headlights turned off. The door of the car opened, and Olivia realized whoever was texting her wasn't trying to scare her. They were trying to save her. Rain poured harder now, drumming against the window like impatient fingers. Olivia Reed froze where she stood, the glow of her phone the only light in the room. Her chest rose and fell in sharp, uneven breaths as the black sedan idled just beyond the curtain. She whispered, "Noah, if this is you, please tell me what to do." Nothing, just the hum of thunder, the steady flicker of her heartbeat echoing in her ears. The car door creaked open. A tall figure stepped out, dark jacket, hood up, head down against the rain. He didn't rush. He walked slowly, purposefully, straight toward her building. Olivia grabbed her keys and her purse, hands trembling. She backed away from the window, eyes never leaving that shadowed figure. Her phone buzzed again. "Don't scream." Her blood ran cold. "Oh God," she whispered. A knock, soft, then louder. 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. She swallowed, her mind racing. Should she run? Call 911. Then another message lit up the screen. "It's Ethan. Open the door." Her knees almost gave out. Ethan. She rushed to the peephole, and there he was, drenched from the rain, jacket plastered to his skin, his face pale with worry. Relief hit her so hard it hurt. She unlocked the door. "Ethan, what are you doing here? You scared me." He stepped inside quickly, dripping water onto the floor. "I called you 10 times, Liv. You didn't answer. I had this feeling." He stopped when he saw the glow of her phone on the couch. The last message still open. "Who's texting you?" She hesitated. "I don't know, but whoever it is, they knew about the box. They knew we buried it." Ethan's jaw tightened. "And you think it's Noah?" Her voice cracked. "I don't know anymore." Before he could answer, headlights flashed again, another car pulling up behind the black sedan. 2 men stepped out this time, dressed in suits, umbrellas snapping open in the storm. Ethan peeked through the curtain. "Those aren't neighbors." Olivia's stomach dropped. They're here for me. How did you know? Because Noah warned me, she whispered. He turned to her, confused. You mean the text? Yes, it said run. The elevator down the hall dinged softly. Someone was coming up. Ethan grabbed her hand. Come on. They rushed to the fire exit, feet pounding against the cold metal stairs. The thunder outside covered the noise. Halfway down, Olivia stopped. Wait, she gasped. The box, it's still out there if they find it. Ethan turned, his eyes sharp. We'll get it before they do. Where did you bury it? She hesitated, then whispered, Millstone Woods. By the lake. They pushed through the back door into the rain, headlights cutting across the parking lot behind them. As they ran toward Ethan's car, a voice shouted from behind. Olivia Reed stopped. She turned. The two men were chasing them, one of them holding something metallic that caught the lightning's glare. Ethan unlocked the car. Get in. They slammed the doors, tires screeching as he floored it, the city lights blurring behind them. For a moment they were silent, breathless, hearts hammering. Then Olivia's phone buzzed again. A new message from Noah. You're too late. They already dug it up. Olivia stared at the screen, her throat tightening. Oh my God, they found it. Ethan gripped the wheel tighter. Then we need to find out what was inside before they use it. The rain intensified, the wipers struggling to keep up. Lightning split the sky, illuminating Olivia's pale face reflected in the window. Somewhere far behind them, the black sedan pulled out too, following, and as they disappeared down the highway, Olivia's phone buzzed one last time that night. He's not who you think he is. She looked at Ethan, his jaw set, his eyes fixed on the road, and for the first time, she wasn't sure if the warning was about the men chasing them or about the man sitting right beside her. The storm didn't stop. It followed them, a relentless downpour pounding the windshield as Ethan's car cut through the dark highway. The world outside was a blur of lightning, rain, and shadow. Inside the car, silence was louder than thunder. Olivia sat motionless, gripping her phone like a weapon. Her mind spun Noah's messages. The men in black, the warning. He's not who you think he is. She couldn't stop replaying those words. Finally, she whispered, Ethan, why did you come back for me tonight? He glanced at her, confused. What do you mean? You said you just had a feeling, but you were already outside my building when I got that text. How did you know I was in danger? Ethan hesitated just for a moment, but long enough for her to notice. I told you I couldn't sleep. Her voice trembled. You didn't answer my question. He gripped the wheel tighter. You think I'm part of this? I don't know what to think anymore, she snapped. Noah's warning. Olivia, Noah is dead, Ethan shouted, cutting her off. You have to stop believing every ghost that texts your phone. She flinched, his voice echoing in the small car. For a moment, neither spoke. Only the sound of rain filled the air. Then Ethan sighed softer. I'm sorry, I need you to trust me, okay? Whatever happening, we'll face it together. She nodded slowly, but her heart wasn't convinced. Millstone Woods, 1:47 a.m. The lake was darker than memory, still, endless, reflecting flashes of lightning like broken glass. Ethan parked near the old trail, headlights slicing through the fog. This is the spot, he asked. Olivia nodded. We buried it near that big oak tree, over there. They stepped into the mud, rain soaking their clothes, their breath visible in the cold air. When they reached the clearing, Olivia froze. The ground, the place where they'd buried the box, was disturbed. Mud piled unevenly, footprints everywhere. It's gone, she whispered. They already took it. Ethan crouched down, running his hand over the soil. Fresh. Within the last few hours, suddenly a flash. Not lightning, a camera. Someone was watching them. Ethan? Olivia gasped, pointing toward the trees. He turned just as a man in a raincoat bolted through the woods, camera in hand. Ethan took off after him, splashing through puddles. Hey, stop. Olivia's voice echoed behind him. Ethan, wait. Branches whipped against his face as he chased the stranger deeper into the forest. The man was fast, ducking under low branches, stumbling over roots. Then, suddenly, he tripped. Ethan lunged, tackling him to the ground. Who the hell are you? Ethan demanded, pinning him down. The man coughed, gasping for air. Get off me. Ethan yanked off the hood, revealing a face Olivia hadn't seen in 2 years. Her breath caught. Oh my God. It was Daniel Moore, Noah's old best friend. The same man who disappeared after the accident. Daniel, Olivia whispered. You're alive. Daniel wiped rain from his face, his eyes wild. You shouldn't have come here, Liv. What are you talking about? Ethan barked. You're the one sneaking around with a camera. Daniel's gaze darted between them, panic rising. You don't understand. They're watching this place. They found the box. They're coming for both of you. Who? Olivia cried. But before he could answer, headlights cut through the trees. A car engine roared nearby. Daniel's face went pale. It's too late. Gunfire shattered the silence. Run! Ethan shouted, grabbing Olivia's arm. They dove behind a fallen log as bullets ripped through the wet earth. Daniel crawled toward the trees, but a shot rang out, and he fell face first into the mud. Daniel, Olivia screamed. Ethan held her back. We can't help him, we have to go. They sprinted toward the lake, the gunmen's voices echoing behind them. Ethan's car was too far. Their only escape, a small abandoned boathouse by the dock. They burst inside, slamming the door shut, both gasping for air. Olivia's clothes clung to her skin, her heart pounding like a drum. Outside, footsteps approached, slow, deliberate. She turned to Ethan, whispering, "They killed him, they killed Daniel." Ethan looked out the window, eyes dark. He said something about them watching this place. Who was he talking about? Liv. She shook her head, tears mixing with rain. "I don't know, but Noah warned me." The footsteps stopped right outside. A shadow moved past the window. Then Ethan's phone buzzed. He frowned, pulling it from his pocket. A new message from Noah. "Don't let her see what's in your pocket." Olivia's blood ran cold. "Ethan, what does that mean?" His hand froze, the phone still in his other hand. Slowly, her eyes dropped to the inside of his jacket, where something metallic glinted beneath the fabric. He looked at her, and for the first time she saw it. The fear, the guilt, the secret he'd been hiding all along. "Ethan," she whispered, voice breaking. "What did you do?" The sound of rain pounding the roof was deafening, but not louder than Olivia's heartbeat. She stood frozen in the boathouse, staring at Ethan, at the metallic glint beneath his jacket, the one thing he didn't want her to see. Her voice trembled. "Ethan, what are you hiding?" He didn't answer. He just looked at her, eyes hollow, haunted, the kind of look that comes from carrying a secret too long. Outside, lightning flashed, and for a split second, she saw his hand move inside his coat. "Don't," she whispered. He stopped, slowly pulling out what he'd been hiding. It wasn't a gun. It wasn't a weapon. It was Noah's old keychain, the one Olivia had given him 2 years ago on his birthday, engraved with the words, "Forever means something." Her breath hitched. "Where did you get that?" Ethan's voice broke. "He gave it to me the night he died." The room tilted. "You were with him." He nodded, pain twisting his face. "It was supposed to be me, Olivia. I was supposed to die that night, not Noah." Tears blurred her vision. "What are you talking about?" Ethan stepped closer, his voice cracking with every word. "Noah found out about the Keller project, the government experiment we worked on. He knew it was dangerous, that people were being hurt. He was going to leak everything." Olivia shook her head, disbelief flooding her. "Noah wouldn't." "He did," Ethan cut in. "He called me, begged me to help him expose it, but I panicked. I told Keller. I thought I could protect him if I warned them first." Lightning tore the sky apart, thunder crashing like judgment. Olivia took a step back, horrified. "You told them." "I didn't know they'd go after him." Ethan's voice broke. "They said they just wanted to talk. I swear I didn't know." Her voice turned to ice. "You're the reason he's dead." He shook his head violently, tears streaming down his face. "No, Liv, please," I tried to save him. "When the car went off the bridge, I jumped in after him. I pulled him out, but he wasn't breathing." She stared at him, trembling. "Then why didn't you tell anyone?" He looked away. "Because Keller made me disappear too. They said if I spoke a word, they'd come for you." Outside, the wind howled. Inside, the truth held louder. Olivia's hands shook as she whispered, "So all this time, you've been lying to me, pretending to protect me when you're the reason he's gone." Ethan's voice broke completely. "I'm trying to make it right. That's why I came back. The box we buried, it had Keller's data, the files Noah collected. That's why they killed Daniel. That's why they're still hunting us." Before she could respond, a shadow moved across the window. Ethan turned sharply. "They found us." Gunfire shattered the window, glass exploding around them. Ethan grabbed her hand and ducked behind the crates. "We can't stay here." Olivia's tears mixed with rain and fear. "Ethan, if we die tonight, I'll never forgive you." He met her eyes, desperate and broken. "Then let me earn it by keeping you alive." He smashed open the back door, dragging her out into the storm. Behind them, the boathouse erupted in flames, the lake reflecting fire and lightning, chaos and confession. And as they ran through the rain-soaked darkness, Olivia looked back, the place where love, guilt, and death had finally met. Her whisper barely carried over the storm. "No more secrets, Ethan, not anymore." The boathouse burned behind them, flames clawing at the night sky, devouring every secret that had been buried too long. Ethan's hand gripped Olivia as they stumbled through the rain, mud splashing beneath their feet. They didn't stop until they reached the truck Daniel had hidden under the trees. Ethan broke the lock with shaking hands and shoved Olivia inside. Both were drenched, trembling, hearts pounding like thunder. Olivia's voice cracked. "They'll find us again, Ethan. What now?" He took a deep breath, wiped rain from his eyes, and reached into his jacket. "Daniel said they took the box, right?" "Yeah," she said. "It's gone." He pulled out something small, muddy, half broken, a flash drive. Her eyes widened. What is that? Ethan's lips trembled. Noah's insurance plan. He gave it to me before the crash. For a second, the world stopped. Every memory, every lie, every tear, it all circled back to that moment. Why didn't you tell me? She whispered. I couldn't, Ethan said, his voice breaking. If they knew I still had it, they'd come for you first. She stared at the drive, the tiny object that had caused so much death. What's on it? Ethan looked out into the storm. Proof about the Keller project, about what they did to Noah and hundreds of others. Lightning split the sky, revealing his face pale, haunted and drenched in guilt. He plugged the drive into an old laptop from the glove compartment. The screen flickered to life, static dancing across it before a folder appeared. KELLERP3/confidential project Sarah. Olivia leaned closer. Open it. He hesitated, then double-clicked. Videos, reports, lab photos, faces of people, children even hooked to machines. Notes about memory extraction, neural mapping, and behavioral replication. Olivia covered her mouth, tears spilling. Oh my God, they were experimenting on people. Ethan's voice dropped. Not just people, volunteers from Noah's clinic. He thought he was helping them, but Keller used his research to erase and reprogram memories. Her heart stopped. That's what he meant by "they're watching us." Then the screen flickered again. A video file blinked to life. Title: If you're watching this, it's already too late. Olivia's breath caught. That's Noah's voice. The grainy video showed Noah sitting in a dark room, fear in his eyes. Ethan, Olivia, if either of you see this, Keller found out. They're erasing files, people, everything. The box we buried isn't just data. It's proof they can rewrite memories. They can make us forget. They already did it once. Olivia's eyes filled with horror. Forget what? Noah's trembling voice continued. If you ever doubt each other, it's because they wanted it that way. Ethan, they made you forget what you did that night. You weren't the traitor. You were the target. The video glitched, static tearing the frame apart. Then the screen went black. Olivia turned to Ethan, shaking. He said they erased your memory. What does that mean? Before Ethan could answer, a beam of light hit the windshield. Headlights, dozens of them. Black SUVs surrounded the truck from all sides. Ethan cursed under his breath. They found us. Olivia grabbed the flash drive, clutching it like her life depended on it. We can't let them take this. He nodded. Then we don't run anymore. He revved the engine and slammed the truck into gear. The tires screamed as they tore through the mud. Headlights blinding, gunfire echoing through the storm. And as they vanished into the night, fire behind them, danger ahead. Olivia whispered through her tears, Noah, we're coming for the truth. The truck roared down the highway, mud and rain spraying in all directions. Olivia gripped the dashboard as Ethan pushed harder on the gas, his face tense and pale in the dashboard's glow. Behind them, faint headlights flickered, growing smaller but never gone. Her voice was a whisper against the storm. Ethan, what did Noah mean when he said they erased your memory? He didn't answer. His jaw clenched tighter, his knuckles white on the steering wheel. I don't know, he said finally, but even he didn't sound convinced. Olivia stared at him. No, you do. You've been having those nightmares. The ones where you wake up screaming his name. His breathing hitched. I thought they were dreams. She leaned closer. What if they're not? He looked at her, fear flashing in his eyes. You think Keller? I think they used you, Ethan. She interrupted, voice shaking. They erased something, maybe everything. And if Noah knew, maybe he tried to undo it. He slammed on the brakes. The truck skidded to a halt near an abandoned gas station on the edge of the woods. Rain hammered the roof as they sat in silence, both shaking. Ethan turned to her slowly. There's something else, he whispered. Olivia frowned. What? He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small chip, no bigger than a coin, metallic, engraved with a strange symbol. I found this in my apartment a week ago, inside a first aid kit I don't remember buying. Olivia's pulse quickened. What is it? I think it was in me, he said quietly. I had a scar behind my ear. I thought it was from the accident, but what if it was? Her voice broke. Ethan, you need to tell me everything. He leaned forward, resting his head in his hands. Noah called me that night. He said we weren't safe. He told me to meet him by the bridge. When I got there, I saw headlights behind me, then nothing. I woke up in a hospital 2 days later. They said I crashed alone. But now, his voice cracked. I think they made me forget what really happened. Lightning flashed outside, casting ghostly shadows across his face. Olivia's eyes filled with tears. What if they made me forget too? Ethan looked up, startled. What do you mean? She took out her phone and opened the old message Noah sent her months ago, the one she'd ignored. Liv, if you're reading this, don't trust anyone, not even yourself. Her voice trembled as she whispered, what if he meant me? What if I knew something too and they erased it? They stared at each other, two broken souls bound by secrets neither could fully remember. Then Ethan whispered, There's only one way to know. He reached for the flash drive again and scrolled through the Keller files until he found a folder marked Subject Records. Inside 2 names: Ethan Cole, Test Subject 30, Olivia Reed, Test Subject 32. Olivia gasped, no. Her vision blurred as she clicked her file. The screen filled with data, brain scans, memory charts, and then a video file labeled Trial 32B Emotional Response Calibration. The video loaded, and there she was, sitting in a white room, electrodes on her temples. Across from her, Noah. He looked terrified, whispering something she couldn't hear. Then a voice from behind the camera said, "We're ready to begin the erasure." Olivia screamed, slamming the laptop shut. "No, that's not real. It can't be real." Ethan grabbed her shoulders. "Liv." She pulled away, tears streaming down her face. "They made us forget him. They made us forget everything." Outside, the storm raged harder. Inside, the air felt colder, heavier. Then headlights again. Dozens this time. Ethan looked out the window. "They're here." Olivia clutched the flash drive. "We can't lose this." He met her eyes. "Then we don't run this time, we end it." As the engines closed in and the rain drowned out every other sound, Olivia whispered, "Then let's remember everything they tried to make us forget." The rain had turned to mist by dawn. The sky was a dull gray, heavy with the weight of unfinished stories. Ethan and Olivia stood in the middle of the forest road, soaked and breathless, the laptop flickering in Olivia's trembling hands. Behind them, Keller's black SUVs approached, slow, deliberate, like predators closing in. Ethan looked at Olivia. "There's no time," he said, voice trembling but steady. "We upload the file now or it's all gone forever." Olivia's hands shook. "What if it's not the truth? What if we're wrong about everything?" Ethan placed a hand on her cheek. "Then we'll face it together. But I'd rather die knowing than live not remembering." Lightning cracked above them as Olivia connected the flash drive to a satellite transmitter Noah had hidden in the truck, his final failsafe. The progress bar began to climb, uploading 8%, 15%, 23%. Suddenly, floodlights lit up the woods. Keller's men surrounded them. And then, through the chaos, he stepped out. Dr. Keller. He was calm, almost smiling. "I told you to stop digging, Ethan," he said. "You were never supposed to wake up." Ethan's jaw tightened. "You stole our lives." "No," Keller said softly. "I gave you new ones. You both volunteered for the project. You begged me to erase the pain, to start over." Olivia shook her head. "You're lying." Keller's eyes softened. "Aren't you curious, Olivia? Why Noah risked everything to save you? Why he tried to undo what you both asked me to do?" Olivia froze. "What are you talking about?" Keller gestured to the laptop. "Play the last file. The one labeled Memory Lock 32C. It's the memory you didn't want back." Ethan looked at her, uncertain. But she clicked. The video loaded, and there they were. Ethan, Olivia, and Noah in the same white lab room, sitting across from Keller. Olivia in the video was crying. "He's gone, Keller. Please, I can't live with it." Ethan's voice quieter. "Erase it from her mind, all of it. If she remembers, she'll break." Olivia gasped, covering her mouth. "Ethan, what did I lose?" Keller's voice from the video. "You'll both forget him. You'll forget the fire, the loss, the guilt. You'll start again." Then Noah's face appeared on screen, eyes red, pleading. "Don't do this, Liv, please. If you erase me, you'll erase the only real thing we ever had." The video cut off. Olivia stumbled back, her breath catching. "Noah wasn't just your friend," she whispered. "He was my brother." Tears spilled down her cheeks. "The fire, I remember now. The lab caught fire. He saved me and you pulled me out. He died trying to stop Keller. That's why you made me forget so I wouldn't drown in it." Ethan's eyes filled with tears. "I couldn't watch you break again, Liv. You begged me to make it stop." Keller stepped closer. "Now you see you weren't victims. You were participants, but Noah didn't agree. That's why he became my enemy." Olivia looked at him with pure rage. "You used his death to control us." He smiled faintly. "No, Olivia, I used your love." Ethan pulled Olivia behind him, gripping the small pistol Noah had hidden in the truck. "You'll never touch her again." Keller raised his hand. "If you shoot me, the system deletes everything, your memories, the files, even Noah's recordings." Olivia stared at him. "Then I'll remember the only way that matters." She hit enter. Upload complete. The data surged to the cloud, flashing a single message. Truth restored. The Keller project exposed. Keller lunged forward, but Ethan fired. The bullet grazed his shoulder, sending him to the ground. Sirens wailed in the distance. The authorities Noah had alerted before his death. Ethan turned to Olivia. "It's over." She shook her head, tears blending with the rain. "No, Ethan, it's just beginning." He smiled weakly. "Then we start again, this time without forgetting." They stood together as dawn finally broke through the trees, the first light after years of darkness. And in that quiet moment, as the sun touched their faces, Olivia whispered, "I love you." Ethan smiled. not as the man who'd lost everything, but as the one who finally remembered why he'd fought for her in the first place. The camera panned up to the rising sun over the drenched forest and faded to black. Sometimes love isn't about remembering the past. It's about choosing who you'll be when you finally remember. The end. Broken heart.